Hey everyone, doing fine out there I hope. Now then, Lit Up and Buckcherry, some damn fine raunchy sleaze rock from the mid-90s. And today I'm going to show you guys how to play it, yeah? Going to keep the chit-chat to a bare minimum here and dig right into this one, but first we need to talk about the tuning. Now, there are two guitars going on here and they're both playing different variations of pretty much the same thing. However, one of them is in standard tuning and the other one is in open G tuning, also using a slide at times. We're going to stick mostly to the standard tuned riff in this tutorial. However, I will show you the open G riff as well because he's hitting higher notes that you can hear that you're not going to get in the standard tuned riff. However, for one guitar, the standard tuned riff seems to work best. So let's dig into that right now. And it goes a little something like this. So I just ran through that 4 times, and the first 2 times are a little bit different than the next 2 times, and we'll get to that when we dig into it. So we're in standard tuning, and we're going from a C major chord here, just the A, D, and G string, jumping up to a G 3-finger power chord. So it's a little bit tricky to do this, right? So it's probably best not to use your pinky and like this kind of power chord. It's best to use like a bar power chord, right? And then you're going to drop into this G 3-finger power chord, but with your pinky, right? Kind of like that. And when you go to the G, you're going to hit it 3 or 4 times. And then you're going to go back to C and then back to G 2 or 3 more times, right? And then we're going to drop into this F chord here. You can play it here if you like at the 8th fret position, or just jump right down here to the 3 of the D, 5 of the G, and the 6 of the B, right? And you're going to hit that 2 or 3 times. And then we're going to go back into C and play that little lick right there. So now we're in a 3-finger power chord with our pinky. So you're going to hit the power chord twice, and then you're going to lift off your middle finger off the 5th fret of the D string and hit this double stop, the 3 of the D and the 5 of the G, and then drop into the C again, right? And do that twice before going back into G. So that's the riff that he repeats twice at the very beginning of the track. Repeat. And now we're going to repeat it 2 more times with a little variation. We're still going to do the C to G, but now we're going to go off to F right here, a lower octave of this, right? You hit that 3 times. Now we're going to hit it 1 more time before moving back into C. And when we go to C, we're just going to stay on the C. We're not going to do this little bouncing on and off, right? So you can hit it twice, 2 more times, and then move back into G. Repeat. And now we're into the chorus. Pre-chorus, I guess. And this is the chorus. So we're coming out of this. Now we're going to move up to a D sharp bar chord here, off to an A sharp, up to an F, and then back to C, back to A, or back to D sharp, back to A sharp, and then we're into the chorus proper. I love the cocaine, I love the cocaine, right? And that is a 3-finger G power chord here, and you're just lifting off, right, your ring finger off of that 5, and just reapplying, right, along with the melody, right, kind of like that. So A sharp, F, back to C, back to D sharp, back to A sharp, into the chorus. And then a quick jump up here to the F again, back to C, and then finishing the chorus with this. Just a power chord G, back to F, and then back to G. Kind of sliding back and then sliding back to G, right? So that is the opening riff and the first verse. So let's just run through that. Repeat. Now the little variation. Repeat. Pre-chorus. A sharp up to F, back to C, back to D sharp, back to A sharp, chorus. F, back to C, and then G to F to G. Right? And then we're into a short little solo before the second verse. So that's the little fill, just G minor pentatonic, little blues licks, right? And that's the first half of it. Doing little rolls here on the 5s, right? Bend there on the 6 of the B string. Bend that again. Release it, and then finish with that. Blue note, and then finishes the whole fill right there on the 5 of the D. Right, so that's the little fill before the second verse. And then we're into the second verse. Second verse, same as the first. Second chorus, same as the first chorus. And that leads into the guitar solo. And the guitar solo is just this loose kind of G minor pentatonic blues type solo, right? It goes something like this. This is not exact, but this will get you through it pretty close. That's the first lick of the solo. Just all right in the pentatonic, you know, moving into the little extension box here. Starting with a slide into the 5 of the D. Finishing with a little double hammer on from 6 to 8, right? And then he moves up here. Plays a little lick like that, right? Just in the G pentatonic at this position. Little bar on the 15s of the G and the B. And he does this little ride up the 16 and the 18 of the B, and then backs it up, right? And then there's little double stop bends and whatnot. Finishing on the 17 of the D. And then he does some more double stop work, same position. kind of like that, right? And then he jumps down here to the 18 of the high E. Does a little lick like that to finish the solo. 18 of the B, grabbing the 15 of the high E and just repeating, right? And finishes with a bend. So that's kind of the solo, pretty close. And then we're into the little bridge where it's just bass, right? And then we're back into another verse, and then we're back into another chorus. And that's pretty much all of the rhythm parts for this one, and some of the solos. And now, as promised, I'm going to retune my guitar to open G tuning, and I'm going to show you the riff, the opening riff, in open G tuning, because, you know, like I said, this is one of the guitars in standard tuning, and the other one is in open G, playing pretty much the same riff. So let me get tuned up, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm in open G tuning now. I'm not going to worry about the low E string, which would, in open G tuning, would be tuned down to D, and the high E string would also be tuned down to D, but this entire riff is played on the 4 middle strings. So I'm not going to worry about those 2 strings as far as tuning goes, but I am going to take my A string, tune it down to G. So the D string stays the same, the G string, of course, in open G is going to stay the same, and the B string stays the same, but the A string is tuned down to open G, or tuned down to G, sorry, right there. And like I said, I'm not going to worry about tuning down my low E string and my high E string down to D, which would be open tuning because we're not using those strings. So here's the riff, and it's all one finger. Right? 5th fret, 4 middle strings, and then you're just going off to the 4 open strings. Same thing we were doing, same kind of melody, right? And then you're going to jump up here to the 10th fret bar. Hit that 3 times, back to C, right at the 5th fret. Going to hit that twice, and then you're going to drop your ring finger here on the 6 of the B, hit this little double stop, just the bottom, just the G and the B string, right? And then go back to just the A and the D string before going back off to open, right? So these are more like double stops. And then just off to open and repeat. And you repeat that twice, and then the little variation for the second 2 repeats. You just hang on that bar, right? Da, 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 and then off to open. And you repeat that twice, and then we're into the chorus. Slide into a 8, back to 3, now into 10, back to 5. Now he would use a slide here as well, but you can do it with just, you know, without a slide. Back to 8, back to 3, and then just open onto the 5. Right? And then you're going to slide into the 10 after you do the chorus. I love that cocaine, I love that cocaine. And then you're going to go into 10, back to 5. And then up to 12. Back it up to 10, slide it back to 12. Right? and that is the open G riff. And like I said, he'll also use slide in there as well. And there you have it. That is how you play Lit Up by Buckcherry. Certainly hope you enjoyed that and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. Drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.